All right. Well, again, was that as loud down there as it is up here?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, I'm David Croson, and I'll be leading services this evening. And so, forgive me if I am still learning a couple of melodies that we do here. You sing them the proper way, and it'll work out. So, we have already lit candles, so let's begin together on page 124. It's a little reflection on the week. Does it echo out there? All right, well, let's read together on the bottom of page 124. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. You turn with me to page 138 for Lachadodi. We'll do as you know. Could you close that door back there? Thank you. We'll do verse 1, verse 5, and we'll rise for verse 9. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamur v'zachur b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el cham yuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Kiva oreku miori, uri, shir daberi, Kavod Adonai ala yignigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'tzohala, Chohemunei am sugula, Boicha la boicha. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. And we're going to call that song right there. But we can try again on page 142. Go ahead and be seated for Shalom Aleichem. We'll welcome the Shabbat angels. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turn the page to 144 for the Hatzikadosh. Yit Gadol v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divrach Yirutei V'yamlik Malchutei B'chayechon Uv'yomechon Uv'chayei Dekol Beit Yisrael Bagala Uv'izman Kariv. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarak Le'olam Ulal Me'amaya Yitbarak V'yishtabak V'yipa'ar V'yiromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu Leila Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'ner Emata Damiran B'yalma V'meru Amen. Rise for the Baruch Hu on page 146. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya Baruch Hu et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach. The bottom of page 148, if you want to join me. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. If you turn the page, let's read together on the bottom of page 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ho'ev Amo Yisrael. Find the Shema on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vayed. Top of page 154. Join me. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meotecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha. Leman tizkiru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelochechem ani Adonai Elochechem asher hotzei etchem miretz Mitzrayim lehiyot lachem lelochim ani Adonai Elochechem Adonai Elochechem emet. Join me on the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way of getting from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Micha Mocha is on page 158. Yam bam bam bim bim bam, yadadai dai bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bam, yadadai dai bim bam. Yadai dai dai dai, yadadai dai bim bam. Yai dai da dai dai dai, yada dai dai bim bam. Mi kamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele. Do we do the next one here? Go for it. Lifnei Moshe, Ze'eli anu v'yamru, Adi anu v'yamru, Adonai. Go for it.
No, I don't think I can get to the end of the line.
I say we have.
Go for it.
What's that?
Base the word for us.
Okay. Well, we've done right by Michamocha. I believe it. That's what, at least 3 melodies. Okay. Join me on the bottom of page 160, if you would. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And on the top of page 162, Vishamra. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Bein uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. If you rise for the Amidah, we'll We'll do the Amidah together from page 164 through 168, then silently to 180. Go ahead and be seated when you're done, but also take your time. Adonai Sifatai Tifta Ufi Agita Hilatecha Adonai Sifatai Tifta Ufi Agita Hilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elokei Avotinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Ronei HaTzadik Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Hasei HaVokrim Avot, Melech Ozer Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magid Avraham v'Yisrael Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mekayem Hakol atah Mashiach Mashiach Baruch U'Rikashashem Mekayem Hayim B'Chesed Mekayem Hakol Be'ohim Rabim Somek Noflim Ve'ofech Olim U'matir Asurim U'mekayem Emunato Yishenei Hafah Michamocha Abirudo U'midom Elav Melech Mimit U'mechayeh U'matzmiah Yeshua V'ne'eman atah le'olam Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh Ha'akol. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and all who inhabit the earth. This week's Torah portion is Tisa, Exodus chapter 30, verse 11 through 35. There are a couple of noteworthy things in here that we could talk about. There is a half shekel census for upkeep of the tabernacle. We could talk about community responsibility for upkeep of the tabernacle. Formulas for oil and incense and Bezalel and Aholiab are chosen to do the work, about recruiting skill. There's an obscure story about a golden calf that happens in this Torah portion. Moses argues with God to save the people. A couple of tablets get broken in this Torah portion. Levites draw a sword and kill 3,000 people. God sends a plague in this Torah portion. The people repent. God sends a pillar of cloud that comes down on, I believe, the tabernacle. I read it earlier, and I'm trying to remember, was it the tabernacle? I think it was. We could talk about that. Moses sees God. God sticks him in the cleft of a rock and holds his hand across there, over there, so that Moses can see him but not see his face. A couple of new tablets get made. 13 attributes of God are articulated. God sort of calls out and defines who he is that way. We're told, don't boil a kid in its mother's milk. Think about like loads of kashrut happens in those few words in this week's Torah portion. And it ends with Moses' face, which has seen God, shining so much that it freaks everybody out, and he has to wear a veil in order to be among the people, because they're so freaked out. Lots of things we could talk about, but that's not what I want to talk about, because this week's Torah portion also has the real 10 Commandments. That's what I want to talk about, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, but there are more of you here than I anticipated, and I completely forgot that there was going to be live streaming. So, sorry. Sorry. Let me distribute, though. I brought sheets. I got, I think, 9 or 10 minutes. So, share your phone, and maybe. pages, 2 sheets. You spread them out. 2 pages. Make sure you got the right ones. All right. All right, because I like to keep things confusing. So you should have 2 sheets, each one front to back. I think I got page numbers on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get the same one twice? You're good. All right, I'm going to give just a moment because there's some figuring out going on back there. And then we'll talk about the real 10 Commandments. All right. What I've handed out here is, and we're not going to read all of it, but you have all of it, and you can read all of it at your leisure. But what I've handed out here is the text of Exodus chapter 34, verse 10 through 28, which is in this week's Torah portion. And I've handed out text from Exodus chapter 20, which is the 10 Commandments that you may know. And I've handed out the text of Deuteronomy chapter 5, which is also the text that you may know. Follow me here. So, in Exodus chapter 20, that we read earlier, a couple weeks ago, Moses goes up on the mountain, is talking with God. The people are around the base of the mountain, and Moses, and then God speaks from the mountain and says some words that everyone hears. And those words are this text from Exodus chapter 20. In Deuteronomy, later on, Deuteronomy repeats that text almost word for word, and says there at the bottom, this is on page 3, says on the bottom, the Lord spoke those words, those and no more, to your whole congregation at the mountain with a mighty voice, out of the fire and the dense clouds. He inscribed them on 2 tablets of stone, which he gave to me. Deuteronomy thinks that the 10 Commandments that were on the tablets were from Exodus chapter 20, were the words from Exodus chapter 20. But I put to you that Exodus thinks the words on the 10 Commandments are from chapter 34, that is this week's Torah portion, which begins, the tablets are broken, and Moses goes and talks to God, and God says, I'm going to make a covenant with you. Mark well what I command today. Here's the covenant. And then God says this covenant, the contents of this covenant, which I have labeled there conveniently 1 through 10. And then at the end, and the Lord said to Moses, write down these commandments, for in accordance with these commandments I make a covenant with you and with Israel. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He ate no bread and drank no water. And he wrote down on the tablets the terms of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. Exodus thinks this is what was written on the 10 Commandments. So, you've got the text, and at your leisure later can peruse these. However, the short version on page 4 is What is the same and what is different between these two texts? These two sets of commandments. And I have listed them out there for you. The Deuteronomy list here will sound pretty familiar. But let's read the list from Exodus 34, because there are a few that are familiar, and there's some surprising things, to me at least. You may not worship any other god, because Adonai, whose name is Jealous One, is a jealous God. Sounds familiar. You may not make molten gods for yourselves. Sounds familiar. Every firstborn human or animal belongs to God. There's talk in chapter, actually let me read those, because it's not too long, and then we'll carry on. Let's see. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, eating unleavened bread for 7 days as I've commanded you, at the set time of the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib you went forth from Egypt. That's one of the commandments. Every first issue of the womb is mine. From all your livestock that drop a male as firstling, whether cattle or sheep. But as the firstling of an ass you shall redeem with a sheep. If you do not redeem it, you must break its neck. And you must redeem every firstborn among your sons. None shall appear before me empty-handed, meaning to go to the tabernacle, you need to bring a sacrifice. 6 days you shall work, but on the seventh day you'll cease from labor. You'll cease from labor even at plowing time and harvest time is the 6th. The 7th, you shall observe the Feast of Weeks, for the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the Feast of Ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year all your males shall appear before the sovereign Lord, the God of Israel. I'll drive out nations from your path and enlarge your territory. No one will covet your land when you go to appear before the Lord your God 3 times a year. So this is a commandment to observe the pilgrimage festivals. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything unleavened, and the sacrifice of the feast of Passover shall not be left lying until morning. So there's a Passover commandment. The choice first fruits of your soil you shall bring to the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. It's a different set. The Deuteronomy set is all about moral, social and moral laws. And the Exodus set is about religious practice, I think, which I find interesting. Thoughts?
The 10 Commandments that we all know,
Yes.
those are better.
They're what? They're better?
I thought point out
Go ahead.
Exodus 20 has 11 commandments.
That was a typo on my part, but you're right.
It's also good that you have to work it to make it each because you can read this, you can see that several things are clustered together. It's called the 10 Devarim, 10 words or the 10 things, instructions.
Mhm.
Yeah. But you know, I think the real answer might have been presented to us by the great Rabbi Mel Brooks. It's possible that there were,
Yes.
that what we're seeing is different parts of the 15.
The 15. 17 by my count. Yes. Other thoughts? Okay. Well, I'm going to leave this highly successful, I have to say, Devar with you to contemplate and chew on in your own time, and we'll move on. Oh, what else? What else? No, it's so pressing. Keep talking. What you got?
The commandments that are actually like a moral contract and code
Yeah.
are delivered with a mighty voice of fire and dense clouds. And the volcanologists and meteorologists over here think it's a volcanic eruption. That's very cool.
Yes. Yes. Well, yes, there is much, but it is cool. It is cool, and a lot, cool counts for a lot in divine.
It might be the reason why they're the ones that we know.
It could be, whereas when Moses comes down, they have him put the veil over his face because his face is shining. So perhaps had he not veiled, it would have been more memorable.
As someone who runs D&D,
Oh, here we go.
the rule of cool is usually overpowering for any other situation. If it's fun and if it works, you go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sticking with me through that bit of Torah. And now, here we go. We will find the Mishaberach on page 371. Are there people this evening that we are remembering who are in need of healing? Go ahead and say them aloud or in your heart at this time. Okay. In the middle of page 371. Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Find the Amidah, the Aleinu rather, on page 587. Rise when you find it. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latek gedula liotzer breshit, shehusam kelkenu kach v'gor aleinu lachem malchuto, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai Find the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If there's anyone that you are mourning for this evening, remembering this evening,
It's the first Torah study. The hostages that are deceased that we don't know yet. Amen.
our congregation is remembering Jean Geckler, mother of Terry Gottstein, Dora Perlstein, Klavansky, aunt of Trudy Boissonneau, Bernard Lee, father of Jeff Lee, David Levine, father of Howard Levine, Irving Nathanson, father of Stephen Nathanson, Benjamin Nassim, Marcella Rumack, mother of Ross Rumack, William Wolfe, father of Wendy Wolfe. Yitgadal v'yitkadash me rabba, be'alma divra chirote v'yamlik malchute, b'chayahon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevarak le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yipa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalel v'yithalal shemei dekucha brichu le'on min kol birhata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, avail kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Go ahead and be seated. Now, we have announcements, which I totally do not have, but I see people here who are practiced at giving our announcements. Brenda, you're looking like you might be called on. Or Roy might be called on. Roy, I'm calling on you.
Okay. It's all good. I've got the list here. Thank you, David, for leading services tonight. You are all welcome here. You all belong here. Our evening services are 6 p.m. on Friday evenings, except on second Friday, when we have the Tot Shabbat at 6 and this service around 7:15 or so. Shabbat morning services and Torah study are 10:30 until around noon every Saturday here in person. We have 2 midweek prayer meetings. They're both at 8:30 a.m. The Wednesday morning Minyan meeting is via Zoom, 8:30 to 9. And then on Thursday, there's a morning Minyan meeting at 8:30 right here in the synagogue, 8:30 to 9, followed by a trip to Kava Pancakes if you want to join other people for breakfast together. Tomorrow is third Saturday, right? Yes, okay. There is an opportunity. Okay, there's several things that go on third Saturdays. First of all, tomorrow, third Saturday, Judaism 101 class online via Zoom, 9 to 10 a.m. It's open for everybody. And then we will have services in Torah study. Following that, for those who would like, there's an opportunity to distribute food to the hungry. They start setting up at Fairview Rec Center on East 10th Avenue around 1 o'clock. And people in need of food start showing up, and there's actual distribution starting around 2 or 2:30. So if you'd like to literally use your own hands to feed the hungry, this is a wonderful opportunity in person. Third Wednesday of most months is our Board of Trustees meeting, and it will be this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's live in the synagogue library right there, also available via Zoom. All CBS members are welcome to attend and are encouraged to do so. Religious school, is it still on hiatus because of spring break, or is it? Okay. But after spring break and before summer break, we'll be back to religious school on Sundays, 9:30 for Hebrew classes, 10 o'clock for Shabbat time machine, which is Rabbi Abram's special technique. And there are classes for all ages afterwards, including an adult discussion cafe in that room back there. I host an informal study group on Fridays after Oneg for people wanting to improve their ability to read from our Siddur in the Latin alphabet on the left side, the transliteration of Hebrew, and that will be in the library this evening if someone would like to. There is still, this is March. This month and next month will be the last two sessions of the Torah Uncensored, Rabbi Emeritus Oblath's very popular program. I think this is maybe the fourth or fifth year, maybe fifth year he's done it. And it's via Zoom from 1 to 2:30, to be honest, till 2:30. I think we used to say 1 to 2, but we get going. It's 1 to 2:30, occasionally even a little bit later. This is via Zoom only, and there's a special Zoom meeting for this, or a Zoom number for this. If you haven't been attending, you can talk to me later. We had a wonderful Purim party, and thank you so much. Brenda, who is, among other things, believe it or not, you can't see them, but Brenda is wearing many hats right now. And one of them is, in addition to being president of our Board of Trustees, she's also the chair of our holiday committee. And thank you for everyone that was involved, everyone that participated. We had a great time last night. More special things coming up. The last day of this month, which is Monday, March 31st, some of us from CBS will be joining, and I'm inviting all of y'all, and inviting all y'all as well, to join us at St. John United Methodist Church Monday evening for a Transgender Day of Visibility. And that will be from 6:30 to 7:30, and they're on O'Malley Road. And our community Seder is set for Sunday, April 13th. Brenda, would you like to speak more about that? And I'm going to stand over here, and I'm going to make one more announcement when you're done, but this is more time.
So our community Seder, the second Seder that we all come together for, this year it happens on April 13th. It's going to start at 6 o'clock right here at Congregation Beth Shalom. And we are going to start setting up the tables and getting ready. We'll probably start at about 3 o'clock or so, maybe 3:30. So if you want to help set the tables, set out tablecloths, and help us get ready, then you're welcome to do that. I believe that Amara said that signups were going to be available either today or on Monday, but she will be sending out an announcement very soon as to when you can sign up via Shul Cloud for the event here on April 13th. I hope to see everyone there and everyone online. And it should be a wonderful Seder. So I hope you all join us.
Thank you, Brenda. And the one thing last thing I'd like to mention is that our CBS, where is it here? Our CBS 4th annual campout. I feel real confident calling it 4th annual. Drives me crazy when people say, this is 1st annual. And it's like, you don't know what annulus means in Latin, do ya? It means you've gone around the circle once. So there never is a 1st annual. It's not annual till you've done the second one. But I digress. 4th annual campout at Trail River Campground. It's around mile 25 of the Seward Highway, so quick drive from Seward. This year it's July 24th through 27th. For those that can attend the whole thing, that's arriving on Thursday and departing on Sunday. Most people don't arrive till Friday, but the cool kids come on Thursday. Yeah, we do. And individuals and families of all ages are encouraged to attend. Children are welcome. Well-behaved dogs are welcome. And for more information and to be added to the mailing list, contact Cheryl Imbriani for more information, or if you want to cut out or create the middleman, I'm not sure. Or you could tell me, and I'll tell Cheryl. It's a lot of fun. Every year now, the weather has been better than the previous one. No evil eye. But I'm guessing it's going to be great. We have the entire group camp out area, and there is communal cooking. There's some meals that are organized together, and others it's just a huge open barbecue, and families and individuals can cook their own. We have had, and we're expecting to have again, prayer services 3 times a day, 4 on Shabbat. It's the only time I've ever done all 3 and 4 on Shabbat. They are indeed optional, but you're welcome to join in that. There's hikes, as I say, 25 miles from Seward, so that's a fun getaway. It's a good time, and we have our own area, so it's just us. It's wonderful. Anyway, if you haven't been there previously, and you can, I think you'd enjoy it. So, thank you very much.
And let's turn to page 647. On the bottom of the page.
David, may I ask
You can.
questions before we start?
Ask me questions, Roy. At least 2.
Be aware, which of the syllables shall we stress? Shall it be the he, invite he, and then the, or shall we stress the lead? Or shall we just follow along? That's also fine. But the other question is, are we doing it 5 times or 7 times? Inquiring minds want to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, the answer is let's do Oseh Shalom right above it.
Sorry.
Which do you prefer?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's like the least Jewish answer that I've heard in
I actually prefer the 7 myself, and I prefer but that's just a personal preference.
Roy, you're a man of strong conviction. So I think you should lead us in this final.
Thank you.
In this,
It's a slick way to say I'm very opinionated. I appreciate it.
please lead us off
Okay.
Roy's way.
Well, this is approximately Rabbi Moshe's pattern. So we'll go through it 7 times, and we'll see how the notes go. The notes will be fine whether they go up or they go down. Don't worry. Oh,
See the Zimrat Yah, Vayehi Lishua, Ozi 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 the Zimrat Yah, Vayehi Lishua, Uzi, Bazimrat Yah, Vayehi Lishua. Thank you, Roy. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, David.